Hi everyone, my name's Scott. Welcome to Planes, Trains, Everything, and welcome to Liverpool. I was recently reading a report by consumer watchdog Which. It was listing the 27 hotel chains in the UK, and it was highlighting who came last. Coming in 27th was Britannia Hotels. Now, back in my corporate travel days, I remember hearing about Britannia Hotels. My clients never stayed there, and the more research I do on the hotel chain, I can understand why. But they came 27th out of 27 for the 11th year in a row. Now that's pretty good going. Now on this channel, I like to give you value for money. You'll be thinking, wow, when did that change? I'm not going to give you one Britannia hotel, I'm going to give you two. Tonight I'm going to be staying at the Adelphi Hotel, which gets scathing reports online. And tomorrow I'm going to be staying at the Grand Hotel in LLandudno, which also gets scathing reviews. Just in case you're wondering, second last was Travelodge. I've stayed in Travelodges, they're hit and miss, but they're generally okay. Third was Mercure, I like Mercures, and the fourth last was Green King. Now I've stayed in a Green King at Worcester last year, and I thought it was pretty good. It was quirky, it was an old style hotel, but I enjoyed the stay. The bottom line is, if you want Ritz-Carlton experiences, stay at the Ritz-Carlton, don't stay at the cheaper hotels. There's one thing I believe in YouTube. Bad news equals good views, and a lot of YouTubers have actually featured the Adelphi Hotel here in Liverpool, and they generally go there expecting the worst and overall aren't disappointed. But I've got some factoids here on this bit of cardboard here. According to TripAdvisor, it gets 5.2 out of 10. That's pretty dire. Trivago gives it a 5.9, Google 6.2, and Expedia and Hotels.com 6.8 out of 10, which puts it into the good category. Is it really that bad? Well, TripAdvisor gives it a rating of 107th out of 110 properties here in Liverpool. That's pretty bad. But then, it seems to polarize people because some people absolutely love this hotel. So here are some of the reviews about the Adelphi. Poor, avoid at all costs, awful, a clown academy. Oh, I don't like clowns. Don't stay here unless you like slumming it. Dirty, absolute worst. In fact, 33% of all TripAdvisor feedbacks rate this as terrible. But like I said, some people think it's absolutely fantastic. Some give it a 5 out of 5. Brilliant, a pleasant surprise, best night's sleep, amazing hotel, magnificent. Who's right, who's wrong? I'm going to be going in there as a neutral visitor, and we'll see what all the hoo-ha's about. One thing I don't like about TripAdvisor is the fact that they hold on to old reviews. I reckon they should remove all old reviews, 2 years and older, get rid of them, because things can change. The only way you can actually get rid of old reviews is to have a total, complete revamp, new management, new owners, the whole lot, then you start from scratch. But it's not fair that someone could be giving bad feedback back in COVID days 5 years ago and it still has an impact today. That's not fair. Right, let's get inside and get our room, which is another thing worth mentioning. I got an email a couple of days ago saying, hey, please check in online. Why? Because it speeds up the process. Not for me, but for them, because apparently the check-in speed in there is atrocious. They get a lot of coach visitors there, and if you get stuck behind one of these groups, it can take about a year to get into your room. So I've given the address and the phone numbers and all that kind of thing. In theory, it should be a case of, oh, welcome here, here's your key. But I still have to queue up to get to that point. Right, let's go inside. Well, check-in was friendly and efficient, and it only took about 30 seconds. One thing you do notice as soon as you come off out of the lift is how warm it is here. Right, room 224. I feel we're getting closer. 224. Nope. 221. 224. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Ah, okay. That threw me a little bit because I had seen videos where people had opened the door only to find a fire door in their face. But I wasn't expecting it to divide into two parts. One's the bedroom, one's the toilet area. Right, I think we should have a quick look around here and then we'll do an in-depth check. This is a standard double. This is what you get for £56 a night on a Sunday, which is their quiet night. Just a quick general look, and then we'll go over this with a fine-tooth comb. Hey, I like the big mirror. Wardrobe? Hey, wardrobe. Okay. You know he means business when he's got his jacket off. Right, let's do a very thorough check of this room. This is actually better than I expected. Keep in mind this hotel was built in 1914, so it is huge with a very high ceiling, but it's so warm in here. Right, let's do a thorough check. Firstly, you get a TV. Let's see if the TV works. Not as well as I was hoping. We'll look into that later. Maybe it needs to be plugged in or something. No, who knows? Oh yeah, it's just slow, right? It's just slow. Okay, an enormous big mirror. Look at that. That really helps make the room look a lot larger than it really is, and it is a large room. Some, I wouldn't say they're IKEA, but standard drawers. A nice seat. A couple of drawers down here. Boy, that's old. That's original. A couple of chip marks. There is. Can we get any light on the subject here? And I don't know what that switch does. Not a great deal. I was wondering how we got that on. Never mind. One kettle, relatively new. Very clean. And that will be used at some point. This is actually lovely. While we're at the window, let's have a look at the view. It is the much sought after back end view. I'm only here for one night. It is filthy, but this was actually mentioned on another video. I've got a feeling because this is a listed building, the windows themselves can't be tampered with. So the way around this, if you want to cut out the drafts, is to put these glass sheets in here. Can they be opened? I don't think they're supposed to be opened, but let's see. Oh no, it is open, look. Ah. Now this is well and truly been painted. People have been trying to open this and it doesn't work because it's got years of paint on it. Okay, yeah, the car park view. Is that heater on? No, it's just a warm room. I assume this is where one would put one's makeup on. I'd like to know how you get that light on. There is no switch here at all. Double bed. Let's have a quick look at this. Like I said, this is actually exceeding my expectations. That actually looks almost like brand new pillows. Wow, okay. See this thing, I don't know what you call these things, but if you're worried about dirt in your room, never ever put stuff on those, because most of the time they end up on the floor, and some hotels clean them on a regular basis and some don't. So if you're worried about dirt in a room, never ever touch these things like what I'm doing now, because they very often could be quite manky. Okay, let's have a look at the bed here. I would be surprised if there was any signs of wildlife on this mattress. Oh, look at that. Mattress cover. Spanking new. Any signs of stains? Nope. A relatively old mattress. Yeah, that's seen better days, but no, it's clean. Yeah, it's just an old mattress, but it'll do the job. Next here we've got, a telephone. Hairdryer. What they don't have next to the bed is a plug. or a socket so you can actually charge your phone while you're asleep. So we've got the fan, the ironing board, coat hangers. That is actually what you need in a hotel like this. Oops. That's a nice leather chair, and that is looking relatively new as well. Ah, we have lights. It's a little switch at the door here. I had seen online that they are starting to refurnish some of their rooms, and I think this is one of the better ones. I'm looking for a place. This is where I would charge my phone overnight. Here. Yeah, so far I'm really impressed with this. They have modernized the room, but kept a lot of its character, although I must say there are signs of, could that be dampness up there? Let's have a little look. Yeah, a couple of marks there, something going on there. But considering this is over 100 years old, you are going to get some signs of dampness. Actually, I should actually put the pillow back, you know, just to make it look right. There we go. That's actually a lovely room. Okie dokie, the fun bit. Let's go and check out the bathroom. And I brought my UV torch as well. So firstly, we have to negotiate the double doors. I like the security, a lock and one of these chain things. No one's going to break into here overnight. Oh, that's cool. Okay, let's have a look. Ooh, this has been refurbished recently. This is nice. Just what you need, a couple of towels, loads of toilet paper. Ooh, Taylor of London shampoo and conditioner. I had actually seen a video recently where someone had one of these soap dispensing units, and when they tried it, it was something really quite foul inside. Never did work out what it was, but thank goodness I don't have that nasty problem. This actually smells new. Wow. Yeah, it smells actually as if it's just had the wrapper taken off it. And look at that beautiful big shower there. I will be trying that out tomorrow morning for sure. Right, time to get the UV torch out. There's a lot of reflection because this is marble. A couple of little marks here, but you're right above the wash hand basin. What do you expect? This is clean. Floor around the toilet has been cleaned as well. But still, how often do they... Oh, yeah, it's a bit grim. One thing I have noticed about the bathroom here, there's no mirror. That is exactly where you'd expect a mirror to be, and they don't have one. So if you're trying to put in contact lenses like I do, or anything like that, you got to go into your bedroom and do it there. But otherwise, wow, 10 out of 10 for this bathroom. So if all the rooms in the Adelphi Hotel are like this, there's no reason why anyone would give them anything other than a 5 out of 5 on TripAdvisor. That, again, is the problem with TripAdvisor. It gets dragged down by old reviews. In fact, if I get a chance, I might speak to the guy on the front desk, ask him how long this has been since it was refurbished. It still has a kind of smell to it, a new smell. So they're going to a lot of work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go out, get a bite to eat. When we come in, I think we should go for a walk around the hotel and just do some exploring, because that's when the deep, dark, nasty secrets come out. Well, that's me back after enjoying some fine dining options from the Golden Arches restaurant. On the way back, I was in the lift and I spoke to a guy and I asked him what his room was like. At first he was a little surprised that I was asking such a question, but I said because of the amount of negative feedback on TripAdvisor, I was just curious. And he says, well, in actual fact, I've had a lot worse. The bathroom was brand new, the bedroom still needed some work to be done. I think I must be one of the lucky ones with a brand new bedroom and a brand new bathroom. So it's work in progress here, but at least it seems to be heading in the right direction. Right, do you want to go and explore the hotel? There are 6 floors, and I think we should start at the top floor.
closing. Doors opening.
Well, this is floor 6, but the stairs go up. Let's see where they go. They must head up onto the roof or something, so I'm not even going to bother. But have a look at this. Do you suffer from vertigo? Right, let's go exploring. A single individual lift. There's a sort of new smell again. This has been refurbished recently as well. I wonder what's in there. Stairs. Right, we won't bother going in there. This might be a dead end. Yes, it is. One thing that's been mentioned on a number of videos is the amount of old furniture they have in this hotel, just lying randomly. But to be honest, I haven't seen much. Maybe they sold it all and that's what's paid for the refurbishment. Is this another dead end? Yes, it is. Boy, you could easily get lost in this place. Staff only, okay. I'm trying to find those stairs again. They're around here somewhere. Aha. Here are the lifts. Stairs just through here. There we go. Right, let's go down to the next floor. That's bizarre. Stairs leading up to a room. Again, there's a new smell. I mean, I'm looking at the ceiling and everything. There's no signs of dampness. This is amazing. There's a door. It's open. So from what I've seen so far, this is not the hotel I saw reviewed on TripAdvisor, that's for sure. It is really quite warm in here though. And there's no radiators, it's just warm. I'm totally lost again. Nope. This is floor number 4. Let's go exploring. Now these are the sort of doors I've seen on YouTube. How interesting. This is the first interesting thing I've found. What on earth? Someone punched the wall, as you do. I love the big mirrors. Floor 3, And our first piece of furniture. Wow, an old writing desk. Beautiful. It's weird how the fourth floor has got these front doors for each bedroom with the kind of windows in them, but no other floor so far. How bizarre. There's such a variety of doors for bedrooms. Normal door, but these bits on the side as well. Wow. And across the way, a standard door. Right, we are on my floor, the second floor. And just going to the lifts because I spotted this before. More furniture. Okie dokie, down to the first floor, and the stairs take on a different appearance. And another beautiful piece of furniture. Wow. And another piece by the lifts. It's a display cabinet this time. Okay, finally, let's go down to the ground floor. Now that is a big table. There seems to be a lot more good things to explore. Let's go. On second thought, let's not go in and have a look because there are people in there. They're setting up some event, so let's not annoy them. Another fantastic piece of furniture. Nah, let's not do that. It says push. Do you think we should? This is where the large boardroom is, and I know that because it says so. This is what I spotted from through those doors there. This is absolutely stunning. I'll be honest, when I stay at a hotel, I generally stay at the more modern ones, but wow, this has really opened my eyes. What an amazing property. I would give you a rendition, but nah, I don't want to lose subscribers. Okay, I thought those guys were maybe setting up for a concert or something. They're actually packing up because there has been a function here, and here's the evidence. You don't get that at Travelodges, do you? Back on floor number 2 and my bedroom, there's this curious place. A hotel of this age has probably gone through a number of renovations, and somehow they've managed to keep the character of the place. A little bit quirky. You've got things like this where you've got a light missing, but then looking at that, it was probably a gas lamp. So they've kept it there just as a reminder. My final opinion of this room will be depending on the bed, and it feels quite springy, very springy actually, but we'll see what sort of a sleep I get tonight and the shower tomorrow, which looks very promising. So I'll see you in the morning. Whoa. Good morning everybody. That was not a good night's sleep. Nothing to do with the bed, nothing to do with the pillow. It was just me. I never sleep well on the first night in a strange bed. The room itself is actually a bit warm. You can't open the windows, and it was one of these nights where if you stick your legs out from underneath the duvet, they get too cold, but under the duvet they're too warm. It was just one of these kind of mad nights. So I'm going to have a shower, freshen up, and get a coffee. I bring my own coffee these days because Nescafe, which is usually what hotels offer, just doesn't do it for me. Once you've been here for a night, you notice things, and I did mention this yesterday. There is a complete lack of power outlets here. So if you need to charge a phone overnight, you have to do it way over there. Let's hope you're a light sleeper like I am. Also, very interesting, here was the original fireplace. Can you imagine how warm this place must have been in the middle of winter back in the days? Wow. And another reason why I couldn't sleep is because of whatever it is they've got outside. It's like generators. It's certainly not air conditioning, that's for sure. Have a look at this. You'll pick up the noise, hopefully. Some of the reviews say that if you get a street view, it's pretty noisy because there's a few pubs across the road and they do make a racket. Last night when I went to the Golden Arches, I went past a couple of them. There's an Irish pub and another one, and boy, yeah, they are loud. They've got karaoke, the whole lot going on. They do make some noise. See this soap here? I didn't realise it at the time, but after having done a bit of a walk last night around the hotel, Elite. That's not a soap brand, that is a hotel brand. And I thought, Elite? Yeah, I've seen the Elite name all around the hotel, and I thought, is this no longer Britannia? Is it Elite? What's going on? Apparently Elite is a sub-brand of Britannia, and as far as I gather, it's the more elite hotels, such as the Adelphi. I really hope that they continue the renovations of this hotel, because if they're all going to end up like this, wow, I think the Adelphi will be the #1 hotel in Liverpool to stay again. At the moment, it's getting there, it's definitely not the worst, that's for sure, and it's just a shame that they can't get rid of all of these old reviews, because so many of them are so out of date now. Right, I'm going to finish my coffee, pack, then we're going to get out, because I've got a train to catch to LLandudno. It's funny how there are things you don't notice when you first check into a room, and then later on you do notice them. I did mention the lack of mirror. They could really do with a mirror here. This is the original door. There used to be a hook here, and they can still do with one, because if you're staying here more than one night, you can leave your towel there. Otherwise, there's absolutely nowhere to put a towel. These are just little things. Instructions on how to operate a door, okay. And here, that could do with a little bit more work, a little bit of TLC, but it's not a major thing. And the door lock here doesn't actually work. This hotel is 111 years old, so you do expect little quirky things here and there, but overall I have been extremely impressed by this place. When you read the TripAdvisor reviews, for example, you think this place is going to be the pits, but in actual fact, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I don't usually leave reviews on TripAdvisor, but this time I think I will, and it will be a 5 out of 5. Right, I've finished my coffee, I've finished my packing. Let's get to Liverpool Lime Street because we're off to LLandudno.
Doors are closing. Doors opening.
And so that's the Britannia Adelphi Hotel. In a way, I feel a little bit privileged to have stayed there. It's such a historic hotel, and it's a beautiful hotel as well. Not worthy of the older reviews, which you can see online. Right, let's get down to Liverpool Lime Street. We're off to LLandudno. Welcome to LLandudno, although I think it might be pronounced LLandudno. I was trying to listen to the onboard announcements and I can't quite get the pronunciation right. LLandudno. I'll pronounce it LLandudno, you know what I mean. Right, we are here, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I can't check in until 3 p.m. So that's 4 hours I've got to kill. What does a boy do for 4 hours in LLandudno? I can think of two things. First things first, a very, very early lunch. One cheese and ham toastie and a latte later. That's taken up 30 minutes. Now for number 2. Sue and I were in LLandudno years and years ago, and I mean a serious number of years ago. And I've got a feeling we stayed in a hotel along here somewhere. A big bee has just landed on me, or is it a wasp? Either way, it's gone now. Right, I'm just walking up to the base of this big hill, the Great Orme. I'll tell you, it's very, very windy here in LLandudno. That's why I've got the hat on. What a shame it's not sunnier. It's not a great day today, but we're here for the hotel really, not for the attractions. And here it is, the Great Orme Tramway. The plan of action is to catch it one way up to the summit, walk back, and then by then, if I stretch it out, I might be within touching distance of an early check-in. You change trams halfway. Geez, oh, it's windy up here. Not only is it very windy, but I'm feeling it quite cold here. It could be because I haven't slept in 27 hours, so I'm actually quite tired. I may go into the souvenir shop where it's warmer and waste 5 minutes. Right, let's get into the centre of town because I have to buy some fudge. I wonder what it's like having the Great Orme Tramway passing your front door, maybe even your bedroom window every 20 minutes. Oh, and what's this? Wow, I wonder how old that is. Well, that's the fudge acquired. I might start heading very slowly to the hotel now, the Grand Hotel here in LLandudno. I've been trying to find out if it's part of the elite subgroup of Britannia Hotels, because if it's as good as the Adelphi, I'm in for a treat. However, their website seems to be down. And here we are down at the beach. And that grand looking building there is the Grand Hotel. Let's hope it's grand inside as well. One of the strangest memories I have of this trip we did to LLandudno, Sue and I, years and years ago, was one morning we got up and we thought, let's go and get some breakfast. What did we find parked down here? A Harrier jump jet, as you do in the middle of a town. And to this day I'm confused as to how on earth they got that there, because I don't know much about military aviation, but I assume that a vertical landing aircraft is pretty noisy. I think it must have come on the back of a truck and they assembled it overnight, but yeah, a Harrier jump jet just parked there on the promenade. You think, what? But no Harrier jump jets, in fact, no assorted military aircraft at all today. Fish and chips, rides, everything you need, right on my doorstep. Okay, based on external appearance, there's paint peeling, there's, I don't know what's going on with these windows here. I have a feeling this might not be up to the same standard as the Adelphi. Right, let's go around onto the main road, get checked in. I could be in for a treat here. Just walking up to the hotel here. Down at the pier there's loads of fine dining opportunities. What I would call British street food. Fish and chips. And they have calamari as well, but I'm not sure if that would be up to my exacting standards, you know. One thing they don't do is sell pints. So I may have to go down there for a quick bite to eat later on, and then head into town for one of these ales that I've heard so many good things about. Right, I'm just delaying the inevitable here. Let's get checked in. Well, I tried to check in 10 minutes early and I was told no, by a very nice lady, mind you, but it was still a very nice no. They have to wait for certain staff to arrive or something. That explains why there's about a dozen people sitting in reception waiting. I just thought they were relaxing, but no, we're not allowed to check in a nanosecond before 3 o'clock. Very strict on that. Right, let's have a look at the outside of this building then. It doesn't look as if all rooms get a balcony, which is probably a good thing because some of those balconies don't look overly safe. Yeah, it could do with a lick of paint. It's definitely not looking as grand as the Adelphi, that's for sure. I was just thinking, I was originally thinking earlier I could turn up maybe an hour early and just chance my luck. I'm so glad I didn't have my heart set on doing that. So, it is now 2 minutes to. I'm going to stroll back to reception, join the end of this very long queue and get to my room. Okie dokie, the woman who told me I couldn't check in early was the one doing the check-in from 3 PM. Work that one out. I had an executive single booked. It looks as if I now have a double sea view. Sounds like a bit of an upgrade. Although I have no idea where room 107 is. It must be here somewhere. Aha. 107. Ah. Okay, here we go. Premier rooms. Ooh. Mine's a Premier room as well. Look at that, 107. Okay, let's do this. Britannia logo, yep. So let's see what you get for £89 on a Monday night in July. I booked an executive single and got a sea view double. Right, we'll just do a quick guided tour first, then we'll get into the nitty gritty. One double bed. Open air wardrobe. Ironing board and iron. Got a TV there. Got a balcony. Should I go out into the balcony? Ah, that's what that noise is. There's a real essence of low tide out there. Right, let's have a look at this bathroom. This hotel was actually built in 1901, so it is older than the Adelphi, but it has been modernized since then. Hey, you get a view of the ocean from your bathroom. And it's a bath with a shower curtain. I'm not a great fan of them, but hey. Yeah, so the second wave of tiredness is hitting me. I have now been awake for 24, 25 to 6 to 7 to 8, 29 hours. No problem. I do better than that when I'm on Flixbus. But I am going to get a cup of tea. I'm then going to relax a little bit. Then we'll go over this this place with a fine tooth comb and with the UV torch as well. Cheers. At least I can report the kettle works, that's the main thing. I've got my balcony door wide open. It's letting in a lot of fresh air, cool air, and also I can hear the hubbub of people outside. I'm actually enjoying this. This is quite fun. I've got some factoids here for you on bits of cardboard. According to TripAdvisor, they give this a 5.6 out of 10. Out of the 49 hotels they represent in LLandudno, it comes in at 48th. And let's face it, this hotel room isn't too bad. If this is 48 out of 49, what are the others like? Wow. 27% of people who stay here and leave reviews give it a terrible rating. Sorry about the train noise outside, that's one of the kids' rides. Google gives it a 6.6 out of 10. Hotels.com and Expedia 6.6, Trivago 6.2. So for some reason, this hotel and also the Adelphi get the worst approval rating through TripAdvisor. What is it about that site that gives attracts such bad reviews? TripAdvisor reviews, not so grand. The place needs closing down. It's dangerous, awful, health hazard, avoid at all costs, and be prepared for disappointment. Okay, but I did have to print out one here on this other bit of cardboard. This is brilliant. Grand Hotel, this is fantastic. Let's start with I asked for a balcony view, which is what I've got. Yes, I got a balcony sea view, but I also got a view of someone's dirty knickers and a dead bird. Well, I've looked outside and I didn't get them, so she was lucky. Also, the bricks around the frame of the balcony and the other balconies are falling apart. Yeah, there's a bit of corrosion going on. There's a mess all over the roof. I can't see the roof, so I can't comment on that. I've never seen such a disgusting hotel as this. The bedding had blood on it. I'm going to inspect that later. The staff were absolutely rude. The receptionist was disgustingly rude to me. She needs to learn how to speak to people properly. What exactly is she trying to say? I must say, you get a brochure as well, and the do's and don'ts. It tells you all about the cabaret night and the bingo and all that kind of stuff. This is a good one. I just saw this. Right, you ready for this? It says here on this brochure. As you can see, ongoing upgrading works are taking place at the hotel. Really? I hadn't seen anything like that. Please be aware that due to this, the access to the hotel balconies is strictly prohibited. Oops. All balcony doors have been fitted with restrictions which allow for ventilation to the rooms. Well, I'm sorry, but I've got my door wide open, and this here has been yanked out by someone. So yeah, maybe I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm actually not, because when I was down at the promenade wasting time before, I looked up and I was doing some shots, general shots of the hotel, and some people were on their balconies as well. So hey. I've just had someone peeking into my bedroom. Okay, let's do an in-depth check here in the bedroom. Firstly, I just want to point out there are bedside tables on each side and both have got power. Excellent. Let's have a look at this pillow. I'm pretty sure there won't be bed bugs in here. Reputable hotel after all. Perfectly clean pillow. These are actually quite new pillows by the looks of things. Yep. I mean, they do look like almost brand new pillows. Let's check out this bed here. Okay, that's fine. Fine, nice mattress cover. Again, that looks pretty new. Yep. The mattress itself. This is another mattress protector this time. Again, brand new, not a single stain or anything on it. Let's have a look at the mattress itself. Okay, one or two little holes here, but otherwise, fantastic. I must say, unlike the Adelphi, there's no shortage of PowerPoints. One there, one there, two there, one there, one there, two there, plus a USB. I do get the feeling this is a fairly newly refurbished room. Everything looks almost brand new. Apart from this door here, I mean, that's supposed to be locked. And that bit there has seen better days. Look, it just peels off. Oops. Nice chair. A little bit of dirt, but yeah, relatively good shape. A heater, one of these suitcase bag things, radiator which isn't on, a very nice looking desk. I always wondered, do people actually use these? Aha, hairdryer. Do people actually use drawers and put their underwear in? I'd be scared that I'd forget something. That's a little bit unsightly, but hey, you're not supposed to look there, are you? No shortage of milk. Look at that. The kettle is in pretty good condition as well, and we have one of these crazy espresso machines as well. I'm going to have a look in the bathroom now, and then later on tonight when it's darker, I'm going to get the UV torch out, because at the moment there's far too much light coming through that window. Right, let's have a little closer look at this place. One thing about old hotel rooms, there's never any shortage of pipes. I mean, look at all these pipes here. What are all they for? But it's pretty clean. Looking at the sealant, it's pretty new as well. That is one of the original mirrors, you can tell from that. But yeah, that sink unit is brand new. Toilet unit looks brand new as well. A bit of peeling paint here. That could be maybe a dam rust problem of some sort. Actually feels a bit hollow. Toilet roll, no shortage of toilet rolls. And I have mentioned the cool window as well. Unlike the Adelphi, they have a hook here where you can actually hang a towel if you wish. Is there one behind the door? Yes, there is. The shower looks pretty good. There's been oh my, that's a bit rough looking though, isn't it? Wow. Yeah, that's a bit rough. That is sealant all the way around. That is fairly recent as well. We've got our soap dispenser. How clean is that? Relatively clean. Yeah, this has been recently refurbished. Sorry, I just saw the kind of cracking there and I thought, how stable was that? But that's fine. No, that's looking pretty clean. And I forgot to mention there's a fridge down here as well, which is on, but nothing in it. Yeah, so overall, there are signs of wear and tear. That's what you'd expect from a hotel, but it's in pretty good nick, and this looks as if it's been refurbished, well, within the last 6 months, I would say. Does the TV work? Let's find out. Yes, it does, and it's Wimbledon. I can't get over the view from here. Absolutely amazing. Although one part of the view I don't like is upstairs. That doesn't look too good, does it? There's a random set of stairs which go down there. They must have... Where do they go? Just down to the floor below. Oh, it's a coffee shop which has a very closed looking door now. There's one of my seagull friends. He's on the lookout for dropped fish suppers, I think. So overall, the bedroom definitely does not deserve the poor ratings, but like I said, this has been recently refurbished. I'm going to relax a little bit longer. I'm going to go out, maybe get a bite to eat, maybe a drink, maybe not, because I'm actually quite tired because I didn't sleep too well last night. Once it's dark, I will check the bathroom with the UV torch and we'll go for an explore around the hotel. How does that sound? Okie dokie, it's 5:30 and I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. I had that ham and cheese toastie at 11 this morning, so yeah, I need to get some decent food. Let's go for a little walk in downtown LLandudno. Very squeaky floorboards. Yeah, no shortage of fish and chips and that kind of stuff over there on the pier. But I want to find a place where I can sit down and have one of these things. What are they called again? Beers, yeah. I might try one of those. I just spotted a grand old building over there. You wouldn't believe it. It's probably the grandest Witherspoons I think I've ever seen. Yeah, I know I had a pizza, yes. But the thing is, on the sandwich board outside, they were mentioning homemade chili con carne. And that's what attracted my attention, and I thought, let's go for that. Unfortunately, it was the lunch menu they were advertising at 6 p.m. Right, let's get back to this hotel and do a little bit of a hotel tour. Right, let's explore this hotel. A payphone. Does it work? Call home. It's dead. Four floors. We'll start at the top and we'll work our way down. I'm glad I'm not on the 5th floor, although there are these stairs here. Let's go up here. Don't know what's along here, but it's something noisy. A reclining Buddha. I was not expecting that. How totally bizarre and cool. A reclining Buddha inside a hotel in LLandudno in Wales. What? How bizarre. Well, I can definitely tell you that my floor doesn't have a reclining Buddha or any other spiritual statue. I wonder what's in there. They might have accommodation for staff, you never know. Let's go down a floor and see if we can find any other Buddhas. The problem in doing this between 6:30 and 7 o'clock is there's a lot of people walking around, and I don't know if they'd appreciate someone holding a GoPro and wandering around the hotel aimlessly. Now they must be the stairs that are opposite my front door. That was floor 4. Nothing to report there. Floor 3. I mean, to be quite honest, there's no signs of dampness. It's maintained. It's up to a pretty good spec. I don't know why this hotel gets such bad reviews, unless of course they're very old reviews. And as I said before, that's the problem with TripAdvisor. They don't get rid of old reviews, they keep them and they drag a property down. Another staircase. Oh, this has got the smell of fresh paint, that's for sure. We've got mattress covers or something draped over. That's interesting. Oh, look down there. Oh, yeah, this smells of fresh paint. Right, this is where they keep all their paints and things during this renovation. Okay, it's starting to make sense now. Let's go down to the 3rd floor now. So I thought those cloths were from beds. They're actually probably sheets which are used to protect the carpet when painting a room. Yeah, I just bumped into a couple there and they gave me a very strange look. Well, if I was to catch me walking around an old hotel with a GoPro, I'd probably give myself a strange look as well. Right, what have we got here? Floor number 3? 2nd floor. 2nd floor. This is what I love about old hotels. You can so seriously get lost in them. Okay, that's the equivalent of my room on the 1st floor. Right, I know where I am now. Okay, that's the scaffolding work which I read about in their little leaflet. Right, we'll avoid the 1st floor because I know there are no reclining Buddhas on the 1st floor. We'll go down to the ground floor and have a look. Discreetly, of course, because that's where reception is and where there's a restaurant, I believe. Okay, it's used by Caledonian Travel from Scotland, of course. I was looking at some of the tours that they've got tomorrow. They're going up on the Great Orme Railway tomorrow morning at something like 9:30 in the morning. Good luck in getting everyone out of bed at that time. They've got a big restaurant. In fact, they've got 2 restaurants and a bar as well. I think that the clientele are the more seniors in this place. You don't get a lot of young people like me. This hotel has seen quite a few guests, important guests. Room 107. So with all the renovation work that's going on, I hope they can actually drag this hotel from the bottom of the list of accommodation here in LLandudno. It deserves to be better, and I think it can be. I should mention I'm going to get some work done here because the Wi-Fi is working, and it shouldn't be. According to a leaflet, the Wi-Fi only works in public areas. But I've got free Wi-Fi, I'm going to use it. And I should mention the Adelphi had great Wi-Fi as well, so I haven't had an issue there at all. Right, later on I'm going to be doing the UV torch test in the toilet, and then I will tell you in the morning how the sleep and the shower went. I'll see you later. Okay, it's just gone 10 PM. Are you ready for some fun with the UV torch? Let's go into the bathroom. Okay, let's start with this relatively new wash hand basin. Yeah, this hasn't been cleaned for a while. You can see all the soap residue on it. Actually, that's pretty filthy, isn't it? Inside the toilet itself, that is pretty nasty. And underneath, yeah, just as bad. Okay, I'm expecting the area around the shower to be exactly the same. Let's have a look. Okay, that's absolutely filthy. That's never been cleaned, I don't think. Actually, around here, funny mark there, around here, around the bath and shower, is actually not bad, apart from where people put their soap, yeah. But this actual area itself isn't too bad. So the shower and the bath, not too bad at all. The toilet could be cleaner, and the wash hand basin area is pretty dirty. Yeah, it looks clean, but when you see it under the UV torch, you can see otherwise. Right, I am going to go to my bed here. I'm going to report in the morning what this bed is like. Not as bouncy as the Adelphi, that's for sure, but it doesn't squeak as much as their bed. And I will let you know what that's like. I'll also let you know what the shower is like as well, and I will see you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. That is a comfortable bed. Great pillows as well. In fact, that was a better sleep than I had at the Adelphi, a much better bed than the Adelphi, and I wasn't woken at 4 AM with all the seagulls. I don't know where they are, but they're not around at the moment, which is a good thing. Right, I'm going to get a shower, test out how good that is. I can honestly say that was probably one of the best showers I've ever had in a hotel room. I gave it a 9 out of 10 and not a 10 out of 10 because, like all hotel rooms that use baths with shower curtains, as soon as you turn the water on, the shower curtain billows into the bath and sticks to you. But what a strong shower. Wow, I had to turn the power down to a minimum because it was brilliant. What a good shower that was. Not a bad view to wake up to, is it? In fact, overall, I'd say this room is one of the better rooms I think I've stayed at anywhere. Of course, there are better rooms out there if you want to stay in 4- and 5-star hotels, but this isn't a 4- or a 5-star hotel. And what I got for my money, I think is pretty good. I booked this around about 4 weeks ago and it cost £89. Not this actual room itself, it was an executive single, and I'm not quite sure where they are, but I've got a feeling they don't have balconies. So this is definitely an upgrade. If I can find the price, I'll let you know below. But this has been, like I said, one of the better rooms I think I've stayed at. It's very hard to fault it. There's loads of power areas, the shower's brilliant, the view's fantastic. It's been a great stay here, and it's a shame it's only for one night. When I decided to come here and review these two hotels, I thought these are going to be absolutely dire, but they were absolutely beautiful hotels. I wish I could have stayed longer. I know looking at two hotels in a hotel chain of 64 isn't very comprehensive, but if it's an idea as to what to expect, then yeah, I think Britannia have really pulled their socks up. When Which did their last hotel review, they came 27th out of 27 hotel chains, and I reckon that when they do their next review, they definitely will not be last. Does that mean that Travelodge will drop down from 26th to 27th? Who knows? But it certainly won't be Britannia, that's for sure. These have been absolutely magnificent hotels, and it's been an absolute privilege to stay here. Anyway guys, thanks very much for coming along. This has been an eye-opener. I'll see you next time.